Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Representative Andy Ogles proposes bill to slap 100% tax on American athletes who compete for other nations. I don't normally support taxes, but when I do, Republican Tennessee Representative Andy Ogles has proposed a bill that his team is pushing in the aftermath of the firestorm surrounding Eileen Gu, the freestyle skiing American who, despite being born here, competes for China in global competition. And this includes the recent 2026 Winter Olympics in Italy. Outkick was the first to report the news. The legislation is branded the officially limiting yearly money procured by individuals concerning Sportsmanship Act, or for short, the Olympics Act. Any American who works with a foreign adversary has not only betrayed our country, but must be stripped of all benefits from doing so. That is why I am ensuring that the IRS takes every dollar earned by athletes like Eileen Gu, said Ogles while speaking with Outkick. The bill would set up a new federal tax at 100% on particular income brought in by United States citizens and permanent residents in the country who participate in international sporting events for a foreign entity of concern, with the list featuring China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran. The legislation would take aim at two streams of income. 1. Money earned from participating in international sporting events for a foreign entity of concern, and 2. Sponsorship deals that were obtained as a result of competing for, again, a foreign entity of concern. The global events include the Summer Olympics, Winter Olympics, the World Cup, Wimbledon, and the Tour de France, and also features any other event where individuals compete for a nation. Ain't nothing more beautiful than a traitorous American citizen getting slapped with some pure American reality. The 100% flag tax, a fable from the Olympic Village to the IRS mailroom. On a winter morning in Washington, D.C., the city did what it always does when it's about to argue with itself. It turned a headline into a personality test. Representative Andy Ogles, a Republican from Tennessee, rolled out a proposal with the kind of name that sounds like it came from a brainstorming session fueled by coffee and grievance, the Olympics Act. Its core idea is blunt enough to fit on a bumper sticker: a 100% tax on money earned by American citizens who compete internationally while representing certain adversarial nations. Not any nation, not every other passport, but specifically China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea. According to Ogles' own announcement, the bill, as framed, aims at prize money, sponsorship income, and any other compensation linked to that decision. Compete for them, and the U.S. Treasury takes everything you made from that choice. Washington loves policies that come with a moral soundtrack. This one practically arrives with drums. And somewhere far away from committee rooms and cable news chirons, in the imagined quiet of an Olympic village, a U.S.-born athlete ties her laces and stares at the flag on her jacket, just not the one you'd expect. 1. The athlete, the anthem, and the arithmetic. She's not just a person in this story. In America's political theater, she's a symbol. She's the kind of symbol that can be boiled into one question shouted across a comment section. How do you get born here and compete for them? The debate reignited around athletes like Eileen Gu, a US-born skier who has competed for China and whose choices have repeatedly become a cultural lightning rod. Multiple outlets reporting on Ogles' proposal say her case is central to how the bill is being sold to the public. In the Olympics Act's worldview, the athlete's decision isn't simply personal or professional, it's geopolitical. It turns sports into strategy, endorsements into influence, and the podium into a place where soft power grins for the camera. So the tax becomes a message. You may wear another flag, you may cash another check, but if you still carry an American passport, the United States wants the right to take 100% of the money you earned from representing a foreign entity of concern. That's the arithmetic at the center of the argument, a moral accusation converted into a tax rate. 2. The bill is a letter, not just a law. Most bills are paperwork. Some bills are letters, addressed less to the Senate and more to the public mood. Ogles' press release language is direct. He describes the targeted countries as adversaries and casts the athletes as benefiting financially from competing for them. The intent, he says, is to ensure money earned from that choice gets taxed at 100%. In the version that travels fastest online, the bill reads like a public scolding with an IRS stamp. But listen closely and you can hear the second audience, not just voters, but sponsors. Because sponsorships are where modern athletic identity gets moneyized. Prize money is applause. Sponsorship money is rent, flights, agents, trainers, the future. The Olympics Act explicitly reaches for both. That matters, because it's one thing to punish a medal bonus. It's another thing to punish the entire economy of a career. 3. The border that isn't a border. In the old sports mythology, loyalty was simple. You were born in a place, you played for the place, you sang the anthem, you went home. In the real world, it's messy. Some athletes have dual citizenship. Some countries recruit talent. Some governing bodies make qualification feel like a locked door. Some families are split across continents. Some athletes are both from here and from there, and don't feel like traitors, just complicated humans. That's what makes Ogles' proposal feel like it's trying to draw a crisp border where life has drawn a blur. The bill, as described by Ogles and reported elsewhere, doesn't argue with that blur by debating identity. It argues with it by billing it. Not, who are you? But, who paid you, and for which flag? 4. What the tax is really doing. Let's be honest, a 100% tax rate isn't a revenue plan. It's a deterrent. It's the legislative version of putting a giant NO sign on the path. Ogles' framing is that if you represent certain adversarial nations while retaining U.S. citizenship, you shouldn't keep any income earned from that representation. That transforms the athlete into a kind of economic battlefield. The athlete becomes the courier of national image. The athlete becomes a marketing asset for a government the U.S. considers hostile. The athlete becomes an argument that can be won with a tax form. In short, the bill doesn't just regulate money. It tries to regulate meaning. 5. The sponsor's nightmare and the lawyer's playground. Here's where the story gets less cinematic and more bureaucratic, because the world of endorsements is not built like a medal ceremony. It's built like a maze. Sponsorship income can be paid through agencies, tied to multi-year campaigns, shared across regions, bundled with appearances and content, or distributed through international subsidiaries. Some reporting about the bill emphasizes that sponsorships are a major practical challenge, because determining what income is tied to competing for a covered nation can get complicated fast. So picture this: a lawyer on one side of the table, an accountant on the other, and the athlete in the middle, staring at a contract that suddenly feels radioactive.